Next step. Now,
there are people who are already registered on the site who you're going to invite?
Yeah, that's right. BuddyPress itself doesn't have an external invitation system, but I wrote a plugin called Invite Anyone that has an email invitation system. So you can type in emails, it keeps track of who's accepted them. You can also have integration with a service called CloudSponge, which allows you to pull from your Mac address book, or allows you to pull from your Gmail contacts or whatever, and send invitations based on that. It's pretty slick. That's called Invite Anyone. It's in the repo. Now here I've got I built a group extension called BuddyPress Docs, which allows you to have like group wikis. And so these group extensions get built right into the group creation interface. It's pretty nice. Finish, and here's my group. So now I have all these tabs. I have the admin, I have the forums section. Forums just kind of look like regular group. Well, there's none there yet, but they look basically like the forums that you all know and love. Docs, so I already have a doc here. You can see what my Docs plugin looks like. It's pretty much the bomb. Gives you the nice, beautiful, whatever. So yeah, that's the group process. That's how you set up BuddyPress. It only takes a couple minutes. Yes?
Yeah, two questions. One, invite anyone. Is that also for the Gmail one that you spoke about? Or is it a different plugin?
Invite anyone, but when you install it, allows you to manually type in email addresses of people you want to invite. I have built an integration piece for Invite Anyone. When you go to the control panel for Invite Anyone, there's a section called CloudSponge, and CloudSponge is a third-party service, and it's a pay service, so I forget how much it is, 20 bucks a month maybe, but they do all of the API integration. There's like 6 or 7 different address book services, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Microsoft Outlook I think it integrates with, and it'll pull from your address book, but it's all a nice JavaScript implementation, so it all pulls it in like that. So the automatic stuff, if you want it from your address books, costs a little bit extra. But the Invite Anyone is free. You can type that in manually.
You see, when somebody starts to build a community, there are certain components that they may want to turn on and activate first as a community build and starts getting used to the site. Yeah. Is there any particular pattern that you've noticed in community building which component is best to turn on first, in what order?
That's a great question. There's no real pattern, I don't think, because it depends on what your community is for. So, for instance, on the CUNY Academic Commons, that's a site that is built. So how many of you know what CUNY is? The City University of New York, right? And you know that it's a bunch of schools, 23 campuses, and they're spread out all over the place. But it's kind of weird because you might have somebody who's studying, let's say, like when I was in graduate school, I studied the formal semantics of proper names that appear in fictional contexts, right? So like something very specific. I was a philosopher, don't ask me about it. But I was at one school. Now there might be somebody at Bronx Community College or the College of Staten Island, like 8 miles away from me, who's studying the very same thing and I would never know about it. So the goal of the CUNY Academic Commons is to create a social space where people could sort of discover each other, and then once they discovered each other, give them tools to collaborate. So that's the goal of that site. Now given that goal, what kinds of tools are helpful? Well, first of all, discovery tools, such as profiles. Profiles where you can state your research interests, and then you can search for other people's research interests to aid in discovery. So we definitely wanted profiles turned on. Second, we wanted collaboration. Collaboration implies something like groups. So we definitely wanted groups turned on. Group forums are like the most actively used thing on the site. Something like activity, the interactive activity stream. When I go over to the, where did I put it? I must have deactivated activity or something. The activity stream is interactive. We waited to turn that on because it was confusing. It was yet another place to create content. You could have a blog, you could have a profile, you could have forum posts, and also you can post to the activity stream like on Twitter. Well, that was too many at first, so we rolled that one out later. But you could do it the other way around. I mean, I know of sites where they turn off group forums. You turn off groups altogether. They think it's a confusing interface. They want one stream, like Twitter, where you have one stream of things happening. Maybe you can follow people, so you can pare down the fire hose that way. But so it depends on the goals of your community and the site that you're trying to set up. But I definitely do recommend thinking about that carefully first, getting a test installation up and running, playing around with it, and then deciding on the basis of that how you turn things on and in what order. Because if you just turn it all on at once, it's a recipe for confusion for your users. That's not really BuddyPress's fault. I mean, it kind of is, because BuddyPress does too many cool things. But yeah, it's too awesome, right? It's like, but you gotta control yourself a little bit, right? Good things come to those who wait. That's true in the BuddyPress world as well. So, yeah. Other questions, thoughts? Yeah.
A follow-up question or a similar question. The friends component. I have a very small niche community, which the friends component is almost unnecessary.
Yep.
So I just want everybody to be friends automatically. Is that what
Well, I would actually suggest you turn the friends component off. All the friends component does, this is essentially all it does. It adds a tab to the activity it adds a tab to your activity screen that says friends. In other words, only show me the stuff that my friends are up to. There are plugins that do more things with friends, but out of the box, that's basically all friends does. When you have a small community where everybody wants to know what everybody else is up to, just turn it off.
Well, how does that affect the groups and forums?
It doesn't. It doesn't affect it at all. They're all independent of each other.
It used to be that somebody had to be your friend to invite them in.
Yes, that's right. It used to be that, and that's changed in BuddyPress 1.5. I think that's the default behavior, but there's a flag you can put in your WP config. It's like allow global invitations or something like that, which allows you to turn that off. And invite anyone, that plugin will also let you turn it on. So, but that you won't need invite anyone for that purpose anymore. You'll just be able to put a little flag in your WP config. I have to write. I'm glad you said that. I did that like 6 months ago and I forgot about it, but I should write up documentation for it because that's really helpful. Yes?
Talk a little bit about BBPress as it's used here versus the new plugin.
Good. Great. Okay, so a little bit of history. When BuddyPress was a lot older, maybe 2 years ago, you could integrate it with BBPress, BBPress is a standalone piece of software. It's made by the same people who make WordPress, but it's actually totally separate. It used to be possible to integrate them, but only if you knew Magic, for instance. If you knew Magic, or if you knew like a super genius, then maybe you could get them to work. So that was BuddyPress 1.0. Now in BuddyPress, I think 1.1. Andy Peatling, the developer of BuddyPress, did the magic for you. So then you got the one-click installation. It's still using the separate standalone BuddyPress installation, but it's sharing user tables with your WordPress installation. So you use the same login. You don't have to worry about shared cookies and all that kind of stuff you used to have to worry about. So that's the current state of affairs. Now, what's being developed right now, and it's actually already out, is BBPress 2.0, which is no longer a standalone platform. It is a WordPress plugin. So it doesn't have its own user registration system, nothing like that, because it's a WordPress plugin, just like BuddyPress is. Now, BBPress, the new plugin, was written from the ground up by John Jacoby, who is also the lead developer on BuddyPress. So it was built with BuddyPress integration in mind. Right now, they're not fully integrated in the sense that you can turn on BBPress, the new plugin, with this turned on. But you won't have group integration. Activity will work. So if I post something new in BBPress, a new forum, it'll show up on my activity screen. Boone posted a new forum topic. Hello, how are you? That'll show up. That works. But some of the finer points about group integration don't work quite yet. We're still, in other words, using the old BBPress. The next version of BuddyPress will do away with it, and it'll only use the new BBPress version all integrated. So you can use it right now, but it is not 100% integrated. So you'll have to do a little bit of work to make sure that it all interfaces correctly, just visually speaking.
So do you think there'll be a migration path?
There is. He's already built it. The scripts are there. You click one button and then it'll migrate all of your old BBPress stuff into the new format. So that already exists. We're going to write all that for you. Yeah.
What does BBPress do?
It is a bulletin board software. That's what BB stands for. Discussion forums.
But don't you already have forums here with BuddyPress?
Yeah, we do, but it's hacked together. We're using BBPress, which is a totally separate software, and we are it's doing all of the data storage and stuff like that in the background. We've just skinned it essentially. Well, we've done a little bit more than skin it, but we want to remove that and we want to replace it with the new version of BBPress, which will be much more easily integrated with WordPress.
But when I install BuddyPress, I'm still going to get forums with that installation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When you download BuddyPress, BBPress is actually included in a folder inside of that zip file. So yeah, you don't have to worry about any of that. You do have to click the forum setup button in the dashboard, but you saw me do it before. It took 2 clicks. So yes.
Can people edit their entries in the activity?
No, they can't. You can only delete them. We talked about that, but it's a little bit. We weren't really sure how to implement that because not all activity items, like this one says Joey Jeremiah. I was a Degrassi fan. Anyway, Joey Jeremiah created the group Boone is a nice guy. Like, you want to be able to edit that? What would you edit it to say?
I mean, well, if you put something in what's new, Joey,
right.
you still wouldn't be able to edit it.
No, you can't edit that. That's not part of it right now. There's actually a plugin that lets you do it, and I think it's called something like BuddyPress Edit Activity Stream. It's very creatively named. Somebody built that at one point. It will continue to work with this because it's a simple thing. You essentially just have to create a new page that is the edit page, and that's what that plugin does. So, not built into BuddyPress, it's a plugin that does it.
So this what's new also for people just coming in and thinking about forums. It's confusing as to whether you're posting a new topic to a forum that someone's going to answer versus the what's new Twitter
yes.
type of post. At 1.5, have you thought about how to? Do you just recommend to turn that off?
We recommend that you turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a confusing. It's a confusing point. But what happens is that I'll give you the brief explanation.
What was the question?
The question was, well, the question is right now, if you post a forum topic, I'll show you. If I go to my group, Boone is a nice guy, and then I go to the forum section and I'll create a new forum topic. Let's talk about sex, baby. And then I post that new, forget it, yeah, right, I grew up in the 90s. So I posted a new forum topic. Now this is the forum topic, this is the discussion forum. But at the same time, an activity item is posted to the activity streams. Joey Jeremiah started the forum topic, let's talk about sex. This is an activity item which is independent of the forum topic. It's essentially, it's a piece of metadata. You can think of it that way. The problem is that BuddyPress has these commenting things built in, so I can say cool to the activity item, but I've said cool about the activity item. That's not the same thing as a reply to the forum post itself. So if I go back to the forum now, you might think that the word cool should now appear as a reply, but you can see that it doesn't. I've only got one post, and if I could click on it successfully, then you'd see it. Yeah, it doesn't appear there. That can be confusing. So we have a toggle on the back end of BuddyPress that allows you to disable activity stream commenting on blogs and forums. In other words, the two places where there's already a native form of commenting. Now when I go back to the activity section, you'll see the comments button has actually gone away. It's not there anymore. So this means that if somebody wants to reply to this, they have to click on the topic name, and then they will actually reply in the correct place. So that's our solution for now. Now I hacked something together at one point. You can look on my blog for it, where you can make the comments button redirect to the forum topic itself, but it's a little bit confusing because of pagination and stuff like that. So, but you can find it on my blog. It's just a drop-in piece of code. So maybe in the next version of BuddyPress, we'll try to have that built in as an option. Right now it's not, but it can be done. So.